Hello everyone. A completely unexpected event has just happened in Tuna's life. She once thought that the painful past was buried forever. Alex, the cold CEO, also believed that the two had moved on to a new chapter. But then, in an unexpected moment, her ex-mother-in-law suddenly appeared, and from then on, everything began to change. Henry, Is he the son of Tuna's ex-husband? What does that woman's eyes contain when looking at Tuna? Is it regret, reproach, or a shocking secret waiting to be revealed? A series of tense situations, hidden secrets, and emotions that have been suppressed for years now begin to explode. You will witness not only breathtaking confrontations, awkward moments, but also choking emotions, where decisions can completely change the future of Tuna, Alex, and baby Henry. How will it all end? And will the love between Alex and Tuna be strong enough to survive this unexpected storm? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any details in this dramatic and emotional story. Have you ever thought, when you tried to bury the past, one day, that past will follow every trace to find you? And when the door that seemed closed suddenly knocked loudly, do you have enough courage to face it? That afternoon, the sky gradually darkened, the wind blew through the forest, carrying a cold chill. And then, that quiet space was suddenly broken. The sound of dogs barking loudly in the yard. Then, suddenly, strangely quiet. The sound of footsteps, slow but steady, stepping on dry leaves outside the gate. Tuna was startled. She quickly put down the milk towel, listening. Her instincts told her that something was wrong. Her legs trembled slightly as she walked to the window, gently lifting the curtain. And then, her heart seemed to stop beating. In the mist, a familiar figure appeared. That figure, even though she hadn't seen it for many years, Tuna still recognized immediately. The woman with a hard face, sharp eyes, had haunted her throughout her life as a daughter-in-law. Her ex-mother-in-law, that was her, was standing right in front of the wooden gate. At that moment, the past came, rushing back like a flood. Tuna clenched her hands, looking at Henry, still sleeping soundly, her lips pursed sweetly. She knew she must not let that child face that woman. Never. The knocking on the door rang out. Knock, knock, not urgent, not fierce, but each knock seemed to pierce straight into Tuna's heart. Tuna. Her voice rang out, hoarse, as if dragging on each memory. How long are you going to hide it from me? The space was silent. Tuna swallowed, then walked to the door. Each step felt like 1,000 pounds. When the door opened, their eyes met. On one side was the pride and cruelty of the person who used to be the head of a powerful family. On one side was the determined gaze of the young mother, now no longer trembling like before, but ready to fight to the end. You shouldn't be here. Tuna's voice was cold, but behind it was a trembling that was hard to hide. The ex-mother took a step forward, her voice firm. I came to see Henry. He is the blood of this family. You can't keep him in the dark forever. Tuna's heart tightened. Each word was like a knife piercing deep. But she took a deep breath, mustered up her courage, and stood right at the door. Henry is my son. He has nothing to do with the things of the past. You have no right to touch him. Her eyes flashed with a cold light. Her lips curled into a faint smile. Not happy, not angry, but a challenge. Do you think you can hide forever? Have you forgotten whose bloodline Henry carries? One day, he will know the truth. And then, you will no longer have the right to decide. Tuna heard this, and her whole body went numb. Henry turned slightly in his sleep, letting out a small sob. As if by instinct, Tuna retreated, shielding herself behind her. She knew this battle was not just about the past, but also about her son's future. In the thick forest fog, the confrontation was silent, but suffocatingly tense. On one side was the mother fiercely protecting him. On the other side was an authoritative figure carrying a dark secret, and that secret could change everything. The space of the wooden house, which was originally quiet, was now stifling. After the tense conversation, the ex-mother-in-law's eyes suddenly changed. She was no longer calm. Her eyes flashed with determination, like someone who had decided not to turn back. In just a moment, she rushed straight into the house. Her eyes were fixed on the small wooden bed, where Henry, the innocent child, was still sleeping soundly, breathing steadily, completely unaware that his fate was facing a fierce storm. "This child must follow me." Her voice rang out hoarsely, full of pressure. Tuna was stunned for a second. Then her maternal instinct exploded. She rushed forward, blocking the path, her arms spread wide, like a living wall. "No. You cannot touch my child." The scream came out, trembling but determined. The space was shaken by the collision of two sources of power. One was the authority of a former superior, the other was the sacred and unbreakable maternal love. The ex-mother-in-law took another step, her hand reaching out towards Henry. Just a few more steps, she could pick up the child, but Tuna had caught her arm in time, her eyes burning with pain and anger. "You once rejected me, despised me, let me live days worse than a slave. Now you want to take away my only child." She was silent for a moment, but then gritted her teeth, her eyes piercing. "You don't understand, Tuna. He must return. He is the blood of this family. You can't keep him hidden in the forest like a fugitive forever." Those words were like a knife cutting into her heart. Tuna trembled, but she tightened her grip on the door behind her, blocking the entrance to where Henry was sleeping. "Henry doesn't need a family like that. He needs love, not status. I'd rather die than let you take him away." A long silence. The wind outside the forest blew through the wooden wall, like a whisper of fate. Henry in the cradle moved slightly, his little lips moving, innocently painful. The ex-mother-in-law hesitated. Something flashed in her eyes, not just power, but also a deep wound. But immediately, she hid it with coldness. "You'll see, Tuna. You can't keep him forever. One day, the truth will destroy everything you're trying to protect." With that, she turned around and walked out of the wooden house. Her thin figure gradually disappeared into the thick forest mist. Only Tuna remained, kneeling before the door, tears streaming silently. She hugged Henry tightly, her heart aching from the threat. The small wooden house still smelled of tension after the struggle. Tuna collapsed, hugging Henry tightly, her shoulders trembling. Outside the gate, the sound of the engine rang out, tearing apart the heavy silence, and in that moment, Alex appeared. He hurried into the house, his eyes immediately finding Tuna. Alex's heart ached. The proud, resilient girl from before now sat down, her eyes red with fear. Tuna rushed to hug him tightly. Her voice choked out. She came. She wanted to take Henry away. Alex was stunned. Those words were like a knife stabbing straight into his chest. In an instant, the cold CEO's face turned into a father's fiery protective instinct. His eyes flashed with anger, his shoulders tense. He bent down, took Henry from Tuna's arms, and pressed the baby to his chest. The baby moved slightly, then rubbed his head against his father's shoulder, peacefully, as if there was nothing more scary in this world. Alex looked up, his eyes as cold as steel, but filled with love. Listen to me, Tuna. From this moment on, no one will touch you and the baby again. If she comes back, I will be the one to face her. I swear, even if I have to fight the whole world, I will protect you and the baby to the end. His words echoed firmly, echoing off the four wooden walls, deeply etched into the silent mist of the forest. Tuna burst into tears, but they were no longer tears of fear. They were tears of faith and hope. She knew that the storm ahead was still fierce, but beside her, she had a strong wall named Alex. He leaned down, placing a warm kiss on her lips, like an eternal affirmation. We will overcome everything together.